the whole idea behind this interview is that I feel that throughout the years of me traveling through this world and understanding things, I think that a lot of women have influenced me in a very positive way.
Okay.
And I feel that it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's my duty, but I feel like inclined to celebrate the important women around me. And I feel that you were one of the first ones to kind of guide me through that process of understanding, and I feel like the time is now to celebrate you for, you know, being such a great sister and a great friend. And I don't know, I think this is a perfect time and like celebrate, and this is why we're doing it.
Okay.
So let's start the little celebration.
Okay.
So this is a little champagne.
Nice.
And again to show gratitude for all the things that I've probably put you through and things that that we've shared together.
But that's life, right?
But that's life, baby. But this is to us here right now.
The moment, in the moment.
If you want to share little words, or are you good?
Just want to say. No, you're welcome. I mean, it goes both ways.
Yeah.
Same thing. It wouldn't be the one without you, so.
For sure. Cheers. Woo! See you,
Don't
Gloria.
break anything. Ay, breaking chetos. Woo! Bubbly.
Here you go. So I want to say cheers, and I'm just gonna ask you a couple questions, see where your mind's at,
Okay.
and take it from there.
Let's hope it's in a good place.
Yeah, for sure. All right. That's good. So, just to, I guess, get to know you a little bit.
Okay.
For people that don't know you out there, what's your name?
I feel like I'm in an interview or something, or like an icebreaker.
What's your name? And just, I don't know, introduce yourself and just a little bit of, I guess, your background and where you're at right now.
Okay. Gloria Jasso, if you want to pronounce it right. Right now we're in Glendale Heights, Illinois.
Woo!
In my own home.
Yeah.
That I bought with my own hard-earned money.
Yeah.
33, working in a school district as a family support worker. And just happy with everything right now. And living with my brother.
Oh yeah.
Salvador.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know what else. I went to Northern Illinois. I have a lot of good friends, family, and that's it. Big, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I had to guess, how did you end up in Glendale Heights?
How did I end up here?
Yeah, how'd you end up in Glendale Heights and then not nowhere, like somewhere else, or, you know?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Why here? I guess now that I'm older, it's more about like family and work. I mean, I'm literally 15 minutes from work. My mom and my dad are 2 minutes away. I mean, I grew up 5 minutes from here in Addison. I guess that's why. I think you kind of, I feel like you always in life somehow, sometimes stay with what you know. Like,
Yeah.
you know, because the unknown is always like a little like, oh, what's
Yeah.
gonna happen?
Definitely.
But I feel like what you know is a little safer, I guess.
Do you say you would, you're like pretty close to your family then?
I think my immediate family, yes.
What do you think, why do you think that's like something that kind of keeps you like close to your family, or is it how you grew up, or?
I think so. Growing up, I mean, we were surrounded by a lot of family, and like our immediate family, which is my mom, dad, you, and myself. We were always like a unit, like a team. Like we did everything together. When we would eat dinner, it was like we would always have to be together to eat dinner, and I feel that's a big part. Like that's very important in life to be like that. I hope one day when I have kids that will be like a tradition or a rule. Like we're all gonna eat together no matter what.
Definitely.
That and just I feel like what is it? Money, work, everything. Friends come and go, but like family's always, like your immediate family's always.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what I think.
And I completely agree. I think that family is extremely important.
Yes.
And to touch about family, you said you wanted kids. If I had to guess, how many kids would you like?
I mean, I grew up, it was just two of us, and I think that's a perfect number, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like, it's really expensive to have kids if you don't have the money or the time to educate them and raise them right. Why have so many kids and not know how to deal with them, I guess.
Yeah.
And from experience, because it's us too, I feel like we're close, and even though we're very different in age, 5 years apart, I feel like we're still close. That was because of our parents, though. They instilled that in us.
Yeah.
So definitely two. I mean, if I make enough money later on in life and I become like a billionaire or something, why not have as many as I can have? You know,
true.
like, I don't know. Because family is awesome, a lot of family, but if you can't, afford it or just be realistic, they're expensive.
Or you could be like Amish and have 10, 15 kids and let them.
But then you have different husbands too.
Let them take care of you.
True, very true.
But so you mentioned that that you were a social family support worker. So what does that entail?
That means that I'm working, it's for our preschool kids. They're 4 years old. It's a new program in our school district that deals with these 4-year-olds. It's a whole day program instead of a half day. The usual program is half day. It's a full day program, and they're a year before they become kindergartners. And what our program does, that specific program that I'm in, is that, in my position, is that we help the parents get more involved in their kids' education, which is very important. Because if a 3-year-old, 4-year-old, like any kid notices that their parents are putting a lot of effort into their education, anything like, what did you do in school today? Do you need help with homework, or what's going on at school? Like, who are your friends? Who's your teacher? Like, just any type of like effort, like just to know what's going on. I feel like kids will do better in school. They'll want to do better in school because their parents are putting that type of effort into it. In my opinion.
No, and I completely agree, and I think this is one of the main reasons why I wanted to like interview you. Just like that perfect example there, you're mentioning like talking about kids, and you're talking about how education is key to these kids. And I think that we need more voices like yourself that are involved with kids' lives, that are daily grinding with these kids, that, you know, we need more support for these kids. We need more attention to these kids.
I feel like it's in general, but I feel like more of our Latino families need it a little more.
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I think since in the population that we are surrounded here in Addison, I think it's necessary. But obviously, you know, it's very important just to kids in general to be taken care of as a young age. Because I know a lot of our parents growing up, including our parents, like they weren't, I wouldn't say, you know, uneducated, but they were educated to a certain degree. And I feel that now that we're...
And just for them coming from another country where education is very different than here, I feel is also like we kind of have a disadvantage as Latinos. Maybe me and you, when we have our kids, will not, because we've gone further than what our parents have. But our parents, specifically our parents, like my mom did technical school, but she never really did anything with it. Our dad, he only went to like 4th, 5th, or 6th grade, and that's it. I mean, he doesn't understand the whole interaction with teachers or like programs at schools or anything with that matter. That it's important that you have to be involved, you have to be there. And us, me and you, that we went to those type of, we grew up here and we know, we're gonna be different with them with our kids. You know, like if we have any, like, we'll be part of the PTA or like we'll be like, you know, it's for our kids. Like we want them to be better than us. So
No, I completely agree with that. I think it's important that the role that you're playing right now is crucial to the next generation. And I feel like we need to start, obviously, my whole brand represents is celebrating the women that are actually doing powerful and important things, you know. And so I don't know, just to like bring it back a little bit, why did you choose that route and not, I don't know, business, for example, or I don't know, engineering, or I don't know, I guess why did you decide to take that route of education or children?
I didn't specifically take the route of education, but my route has kind of always been, for some reason, I don't know, I've always felt like to help people. Like growing up, I always saw that, especially our culture, Latinos, like I always felt like things weren't explained to them correctly, or they didn't know what was going on. Just growing up, even myself in high school, like I didn't feel like I was treated the same as other people, like whites, you know. So when we were like in school, I studied psychology, which I've always loved how people work. Like I just feel like it's amazing how our brains work, how our personalities are, just everything. Just studying a person, like any person, and we're all so different, but yet we're all kind of alike. It's just amazing to me. But my position I have now actually is kind of funny because I didn't really ask for it. I was actually like, somebody came up to me and was like, do you want this position? Like they actually gave it to me. It wasn't like I was asking for it. They just felt like I was perfect for the position, and feel honored that they actually thought about me for that. Without really that type of experience, but they're like, you would be perfect for it. And I feel like I am. Like I say that I'm not that knowledgeable, but like when it comes down to it, people are asking me things, like I actually know more than a lot of people in that, like the area that I'm working at, like in Madison, especially because that's where I grew up. So it's really cool to see that
you kind of put yourself in that position as a kid, kind of, and understanding where they're coming from. Like
I can actually talk to parents and know exactly, and even give them examples. Well, I went through this system, I did this with my parents like this, and you know, tell them that it's gonna be okay. It's just, you have to try it. You know, you have to work at it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that's I don't know, it's very honorable to be doing that. I know a lot of us, including myself, I want to do more change. But sometimes I figure out a way not to do it, or I don't make time for it. But I think this is like a good representation of like what we could be doing, you know, or ideas that get people thinking of like, oh, well, she's doing this, maybe I could do that as well, or I like what she's doing, you know, and move in that direction. Because to talk about is one thing, but actually do it, that's a different story, and that's what you're doing.
And it's hard, you know? Though. It's hard. Because if I can at least get one parent to be different, I'll be like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, because, I mean, people are set in their ways sometimes.
Yeah.
And they're already like, you know, people don't change, really.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
So, yeah, opinion.
No, yeah, I mean, I think it's important that you're reaching out to the parents, because I feel like that's very it's very, how do you say it, very necessary that a parent can guide his kid into that direction. when sometimes kids either end up in the streets or doing gang banging or just a lot of what we saw through our families, like, you know, our parents and our cousins, aunts, uncles, like sometimes didn't, you know, communicate well with their kids. And I mean, our parents didn't communicate well as well with us, but I think it's important that we start seeing those changes. Like as we get older, we're gonna become parents as well, you know, and we're gonna influence our kids. But to move forward,
Yes.
So to transition into what you're doing now, what would you like to do in the future, and what would be your ultimate dream job, or where would you ultimately want to be, either location wise, with like friends, you know, where would you want to be? Right now you're here right now, and it's amazing that you're here, but like 5, 10, 15, let's say 15 years from now, where would you want to see yourself as far as location, maybe job or maybe not a job? Who would you want to be next to, or who would you want to meet? I don't know if you could kind of elaborate on that. It's a lot of questions. Maybe we need a little bit more bubbly.
That's like, whoa. Okay, good. That's very, very good questions that I ask myself all the time.
Yeah.
Lately more, actually. I don't know why, but what would I want to be doing? 15 years from now, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, any years from now and you're not right now right here, or maybe you'd want to be here. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe you're just a dream, an idea, a thought.
I don't know why I always have pictured myself somewhere. Well, definitely be like maybe in Italy somewhere. I don't know why. I just have loved it.
Do you have a particular place in Italy that you would like?
Naples.
Naples?
Yeah. It's just so beautiful. Like, it's so relaxing. So like on a mountain, kind of like on a home there, or somewhere with like a beach view.
Yeah.
It's just to me, like looking at the ocean or water like from your window. Like, I think that's just amazing. Like, so calming, so relaxing. Like, I don't know. That's just my ultimate. That or as well, maybe, I don't know, like I would definitely want to maybe one day, hopefully, open something that where people come to me, like even if it's just to listen, for me to listen to them, because I feel in our society in general, people don't listen. They hear, because we all hear, well, majority, but we don't listen. Like, we don't pay attention to what actually somebody is telling us. And I feel sometimes people just need that, no matter what age it is, like little to old. Because we get so involved in ourselves that we forget that there's other people around us, or like other people's lives are going. I mean, I know we're all like your own life is important, but maybe like have like a, ¿cómo se dice? Like a una.
You've experienced it, and what is it about Italy that attracts you so much, or what is it? The ambiance? Is it, I don't know, the food, or what is it?
I think it's everything. Like,
yeah.
Just it's like this. I mean, because people say like, oh, it's almost like Mexico, but it's not.
Yeah.
Like, I've been to Mexico many, many times, and just maybe because I studied it when I was in high school, like learning Italian. And just the culture, the background, like everything, like it's just, to me, it's so beautiful. It's like love, I think, but in everything, like love, the language of love, the culture of love, like it's just so, I don't know how to explain it. It's just this feeling that I feel like so happy just being there. It's not like
an energy that.
I don't. Yeah, I just it pulls me. Like it just I want to be there. Like I feel like I don't know. It's just an awesome feeling there. Like I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. Like put into words what how it feels.
What?
Just everything, the surroundings, the pictures, like everything.
Particular spot that you clearly remember that you would want to go back to, like maybe a little area that you walk by or like a restaurant.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In Naples, it's literally like a hill, like a mini mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember us driving to get down to where like the boat was to go into this. It's called the Grotta, which is like
That's awesome.
like a little. Like it's another little like hill with an opening on top, so when the light hits it, the water looks like this most beautiful blue that you have ever seen. Like I don't think you've ever seen it anywhere else but there.
Uh-huh.
But it's just the way that the light is hitting the water. And it's like in a cave, so you have to swim into it. But just
you
like,
swim into the cave?
Yeah, it's the most like breathtaking thing ever. Like, but just I remember like us like took a cab down, like it's on the hill, outside of the hill. And just driving around the mountain, like you're looking at the ocean, like the Mediterranean.
Was it sunny?
You know? Yes, it's like if you were in a movie, like you're just like how can you leave this, you know?
Yeah.
And then getting back into the little town, just walking around the little restaurants with like the candle lights and the little chairs, it's just like
Uh-huh.
I don't know, like I know you've probably seen it somewhere else, like I don't know, in the city, or it's just to me it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not at all. Like it's just. It takes away, I don't know, it's just something different. Something, to me, it's exotic. It's like, wow, I want to be there. Like, I don't know.
I don't know, you're picturing, I'm imagining as you're saying it, and it makes me want to like just go over there and like, explore and walk around and be in the moment, you know?
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, you have to be in the moment. You can't be like, you have to be there. It's you can read it in books, you can see it. I saw it in the book. That's how I fell in love with that Grotta that I wanted to see.
Oh, nice.
And by me experiencing it personally, it was like wow, like you're like it's definitely like definitely want to go back. And just the food is like so delicious. Everything over there.
You have a favorite food from there?
There was so much. Like the pasta was good. The pizza was good. The wine, because you drink wine with everything, it was just, oh my god, so phenomenal. And like, it's just so old and like so awesome. Like, I don't know, to me, I don't know, antiques sometimes are like, ugh, but there, it just fit.
Yeah. Maybe you have Italian blood somewhere. So you talked about where you want to go. You talked about what you want to do. And in what you're doing now. So I'm just gonna ask you random questions.
Okay.
And for example, what's your favorite color?
Green.
And why?
What?
Why is green your favorite color? You just like it? Is it?
Maybe it's like me. I feel like it's very calm and serene. It's always made me feel like that. Like just very like, just there, like very nice. Like it's not too strong and it's not too light. It's just there, perfect. And I feel that's how I am. I don't come off as strong. I don't come off as like, but I'm just there.
Yeah. Okay. What is your favorite book? Ooh, So Gloria is a reader. She loves to read. She has a library, and that the library is the size of my bed practically. And she is kind of talking back about education. I think education enriches our minds, and I think that it's very important, not even necessarily going to school, but just talking to people, knowing how to communicate, being around different cultures, whether it's a different nationality from north, south, east, west. I think that education comes from storytelling, from back in the Native Americans. It comes from, just having a conversation with someone on the street. And obviously I think going to school is important, but it's not the ultimate. And I think if you could educate yourself with reading, I think that's one of the most important things.
I've read in like places that if you read, it just opens your mind to so many things. Even if it's just a book of anything, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a non-fiction book. People think like, oh, you have to read non-fiction books to be really smart. Not necessarily. You can read any type of book because the words that are written in a book, it just opens your mind about those words, to learn how to write them, to see them again and recognize them. Like, to me, like, it's just, it blows my mind because I could read something, whatever it is I could read anything, well, me personally, and I can put myself in that position. Like, I could be there.
So back to the question is, what is your favorite book, if you had one?
Oh my goodness.
If I know you have a lot of, or a favorite author, maybe, if that works better. Or just, I mean, there's a variety.
Well, when you said what's your favorite book, actually one book did pop up in my head, which I'm surprised because I have books that I like and that I've reread I don't know how many times. But one that ran in my head when you said that is called The Princess by Lori Wick. It's an author that is not well known. There's not that many books on her. But this book just like, it just hit me. Like, it's always stayed with me. And especially when I'm not like in a good place, meaning like I'm just kind of like, what's going on? What am I doing? Like, I read that book and it just gives me like, all right, I got this. I'm good. Like, motivation. Like, I don't know why. It does it for me. Like, that book. It's not like a oh my god book.
When did you read that book, or how did you stumble upon it?
Actually at what is it called, a thrift store.
Really?
Yeah. When I used to go to thrift stores, I used to always just look at. I would go directly to the bookshelves where they had the books, because I always look for my favorite authors, which are like Stephen King, Mary Higgins Clark, Dean Koontz. I just love those books, and like I would always go to them see if they had any. And they didn't have any, and this one day I was like, I really wanted a new book because I had already read all of my books that I had. So I remember like I was looking and it said The Princess, and I was like, what? And then I grabbed it and I read the back of it, and it just like intrigued me. Like, it's just like, and I said to myself, you know what? Try something new. Why not? You know, something different. And I started reading it, and I couldn't put it down. It was so good. Like, I just couldn't believe that it actually captured me. It was a story that I've never kind of read before. It was... Was
it a thrift store around here?
Yes, in Addison, actually. Yeah. I think it was St. Vincent.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it helped me because, I don't know, like, I've always been, like, sometimes I'll be, like, blah, like you know. And I read it just, like, it made me, like, okay, I could do this. This is good. Like, it's gonna be okay, you know, whatever. And it's kind of funny because it's actually like a Christian author. So kind of religious, which I never read religious books or anything. You know, I am religious, but like I'm not like 100% like, oh yeah, like, you know. So I was very surprised. Like, it was just something different for me. But then I don't know. It's like a feel good book. Nice. And then because it's got its ups and downs and like how they overcome stuff. So then I'm just feeling like I'll read it again and I'll be like, okay, I can do this.
Just feel like a little hint,
yeah,
of
like
motivation.
A little push,
Nice. So my next question is, who is your role model, if you had one? I don't know if you've ever thought about it, or if you...
I do. Because this is a question that would always ask us in school too. Like, right, about your role model.
It's a school interview.
Yeah, right? That's what it feels like. And I would usually always write about two people, my parents. Just because of how they came here and like their motivation for us to be better. Because to me, I know a lot of my friends, their parents the same way, they came here, like, but you know, like, when it's your own blood and your own, like, for you to do better, I've always just been so motivated by that. like especially like the stories that they like. I really want to write down all their stories that they told us, like how they crossed the border, how they suffered to just get over here, how they had nothing, like, well, separately, my dad and my mom, and then when I came around, it was like we slept on a cot, like all three of us, you know, like I can't see it, I can't picture it, you know, because we have full size beds now, like each one, and like it's that we don't, you know, you can't really understand it because you weren't like you didn't experience it, you weren't there, and I'm grateful that I didn't experience it because they experienced it for us. So, but like I don't know, I've always been like, for them to work so hard for us to be where we're at.
So you would say our parents are role models? Okay.
Especially, I'm gonna say, especially more my mom, because she had to put up with my dad. First of all.
Power to the women.
Yeah, and both of us, you know, like raising two kids, like especially in a country that you don't really know the rules or the culture, or trying to raise us in two cultures, really, like her own culture, like Mexican, plus the American. You're getting the American from school or from friends, or I think that's very, very difficult, very hard. Us, yes, I am Mexican. I've always said I'm Mexican American, but you know, when I have my kids, it's gonna be way different than how she raised us.
Yeah.
So, and she still she worked like a 8-hour job, sent us to school, like picked us up from practices, still had to come home and clean, wash, make dinner for us, like make sure we did our homework, we're make sure that we like brush our teeth, went to bed, and same thing again the next day. Like how I can't see myself do that. Like that was crazy. Like that's just, I don't know. That to me is phenomenal. Like wow, as a mom.
Oh yeah, like just everything, the language, the different culture, being afraid of going to the store, or being afraid of going to the bank, or just
like
being
I
afraid
don't
of
how they both like know how to talk to a bank, how they bought their first house, how they dealt with any of that. Like I'm like I was born here and I was raised here, and I was still like I don't know where to talk to, where to go, or what to do. To with them, even with the language barrier and the culture and the background, everything, that's amazing.
Yeah, I agree. Moving on, what's your favorite food?
I don't have a favorite. I have like many favorites.
Yeah.
Like, what can I eat forever?
Yeah. What can you eat? Like, if I put something, right, like, if you could say, I want this right now, like, what food would it be?
I guess my mom's tamales.
Your paisa?
Yep.
For sure. If you had to be, what's the word? En español es called vanidosa? No, not vanidosa. If you had to be materialistic, what would be one thing that you would want to buy yourself? Whenever, like, just you want to buy yourself this, like, it's so bad, like either whatever it is, but just buy it, you know, just own it, and like, I bought this for myself and I would want it.
A pool.
A pool?
In-ground pool.
Nice.
House with a pool. Because I love swimming and I love having a pool. Like I would love to just like be able to walk out and just go in my pool. I don't know.
I love it.
I love that. That'd be awesome.
I love it.
Maybe that's why I like the ocean.
The scenic ocean.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I think we touched on a lot of topics. Is there something that you would want to tell the world, or something that you feel like you need to talk about, or something that has been like in your mind, or just any type of message that maybe can change someone's mind, or whatever it is? I don't know, whatever's on your mind, something that you've been kind of, you know, holding in, if you have anything, or...
I guess it doesn't matter how you were raised, where you come from, what culture you are, what background, what gender, what anything. Just be like honest and truthful with yourself and the world.
Bam! There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Gloria Jasso in the house, just sipping on some champagne and hanging out and sharing a little bit of who she is, where she came from, what her dreams are, what her favorite color is, and I think this is very powerful, and it's a beginning of something that can lead into something even great, and just the power of motivating people and traveling to Italy and trying new foods, talking to different people. And one of the biggest things that we talked about is women, number one, the power of your essence, like what you were talking about my mom. I think number two is education, and just mixing all in there is just having a little bit of fun and just educating yourself, reading to have more fun. But I want to thank Gloria for, you know, my sis being the first one, taking a risk and just putting her thoughts and her feelings out there. And you know, I want to thank her, and cheers to that.
Cheers.
Cheers.